Yeah, good morning, one and all. Uh, there is a small technical glitch because we are all in a very new normal. Uncertainties are very common for us. Every day we are in a learning process, and this is a new experience for us. Once again, I welcome one and all present over here. Dr. Christopher Raj, Head of the Department of DMS BATM, my dear colleagues and dear students. Today we have with us Dr. Noor Firoz Jahan, one of the most eminent speaker and academician who has total 23 years of experience in the capacity of professor, principal, and head of the postgraduate degree in business administration in the reputed colleges of Karnataka. Is currently currently professor and head of the Department of Marketing and Research, Center at RP Institute of Management, Bangalore. Dr. Noor has authored books on integrated marketing communications, digital marketing, business and social media marketing, business marketing, and many more. She has published more than 50 papers both in national and international referred journals. She has participated as a resource person and has delivered lectures in many conferences and seminars. Madam was appointed as Margadarshak under the scheme of Margadarshak initiative by AICTE to help the map of Margadarshak beneficiary institutions across India. She is the recipient of MPC Global Distinguished Teacher Award for the Management 2021 by MPC Global Bangalore. She is nominated and serving as Tourism, Hospitality and Facility Expert Committee for BCIC for Business Expert Committee of for the year 2021. She have launched her YouTube channel called as Dr. Noor Firdos channel, which aims at inculcating management skills among people and making them to manage their life as well as business successfully. Madam, DMS BATM fraternity welcomes you the most to the this one-day seminar on sustainable strategies for retail business. Thank you, madam. Thank you for joining us. Now, floor with you. Will continue with the session by now. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah. Good morning to one and all present here. Hope you are audible. If you are not able to hear me or any issues, please let me know. Okay.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಾಕ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ
We have to wait.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you are audible.
I can go on or I have to wait.
should start with it in the ಇವರು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೀವು ಶಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನೀಡಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಸಮಯ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ದೂರ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ
Your audio, you can. Madam? Yes, yeah. You can start, ma'am. You can start.
Yeah. Very good morning to one of the here, and thank you so much for at the outset, and organizers of Ballari Institute of Management and Technology for giving me this opportunity to address all of you on the most happening topic, that is strategies for sustainable retailing. I thank Dr. Saida, who's a good friend of mine, for this opportunity. So let us go ahead with the presentation. They have next slide. When you have next slide, Saida.
Slide share ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೇರ್ ಆಗೈತೆ ಬಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾರು ನಾವು ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಶೇರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ
Can I myself share the screen?
ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ ಶೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ
ಶೇರ್ ಇದು ನೀವು ಬ್ರೌಸರ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ್ಯಪಲ್ಲೇ ಆಪ್ಷನ್
ಇಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ
ನಾವು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ PPT ಕಾಣ್ತತಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳೋಗ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಕಾಣ್ತತಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ ಮೈಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ರಿ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ
Excuse madam. Madam,
Yes.
is screen visible for you?
Yeah.
You can continue, madam.
Yeah, you can change the slide. No, I can't change.
Okay.
You should be keep changing the slide. Otherwise, I will get to share. Then I
Yeah,
can share the screen.
You say you tell the next slide, ma'am. We'll go to.
Yeah. Yes. Go to the slide. Yes. I'll go on now. So please keep asking the slide. Yes. Yes. I think technological problem is sorted out. Let us go ahead with the section now. Yes. So at the outset, I want to thank all of you, and let us start the section. So outline of my section is my introduction, sustainability and retailing, the importance of sustainable retailing, and strategies for sustainable retailing. So these are the things what we will be covering today. As you all know, students, what is happening now is the 21st century is all about sustainability. Each one of us have to think about being sustainable. Each one of us have to think how we can bring in sustainability in the system. Every sector is trying to do that. Every government is trying to do that. Every individual is trying to do that. Which is why in this 21st century or at present scenario, something which was good for today is very sustainability. Today, I will talk to you about sustainability sector that is on retailer. How retailer can become sustainable? What exactly a retailer have to do to become to make their business sustainable? So that is what and what are the strategies they can adopt to become sustainable? So that is what I am trying to do today. Yes, organizers, mute yourself. I think better if you mute because lot of disturbance are there. I think you can mute. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So outline of that is what is the background of my study, why this particular topic. So please go to the next slide. Yeah. Next. Yeah. See, as you all know, as I told you, 21st century is all about sustainability. This started with this particular concept when United Nations, correct, came up with the Sustainable Development Goals, and which have opened up an unprecedented door for business participation in global peace and development. They started with these goals. When they came up with 17 goals, and they said that if you wanted to have better world, you have to achieve these goals. And 17 goals are being given, and all of us need to work on it as a responsible citizen, as a responsible business, and a responsible human being. All of us need to work on this. Correct? This will help us to achieve sustainability in the world. So the UN and the firm worldwide, including but not limited to multinational corporations, so United Nations worldwide, and they told very clearly it is not just the responsibility of the government, but all MNCs have to work together for achieving the sustainable development. And business have to play a very important role. Correct? That is why as a business students, as a future manager, you should know how to achieve sustainability in each and every sector you work for. Because sustainability can only give you the success in coming future. So UN consider the private sector to be an essential part in their ambitious SDG agenda. So that is why every sector is just implementing the sustainable strategy. If they have already formulated it, if they have not formulated it, then all of them are working on these strategies. Let us see how retailing is connected with this. Yes, can I have next slide? Yes. So environment crisis poses one of the biggest threat to humankind. Why United Nations have come up with SDGs? Because of this reason. The environmental crisis poses one of the biggest threat to mankind, and all mankind in this particular earth will be facing lot of problems due to environmental crisis. So it's a prime duty to protect environment, because environment can only give the healthy living for the people and guarantee the healthy life for the people. If we don't take up environment, in the next slide I have given few results what is happening now. Yes, next slide. Just see the what is happening, the flood. Yes, look at here, the glaciers are melting because of global warming, and there's hazardous energy in the air which is spoiling the atmosphere. The air and water cannot be replaced, cannot be created. God have given that, and it's a basic duty to take care of that, correct? Protect that. If you are doing this, then even the basic sustainability of life on the earth will become impossible. Yes, next slide. Look at your floods, dots. All these are the reasons, correct? The environmental hazardous effect what we are seeing because we are not taking care of environment. Yes, next slide. Yes, so retailing is part of the problem. I selected retailing as a topic because I felt retailing, as you know, in the supply chain system, retailing is the only link, the final link in the supply chain management who are connected to customers. They are only one who have first-hand information from customers. They are only one who shares information from the company to the customer. It's a last link in the distribution chain. That is why retailer can add value here. And at present, what is happening, if you just do the present scenario analysis, you find that retailing is a part of the problem. How retailing have become part of problem? Let me show you that. Yes, next slide. Yeah, just have a look. All this is the creation of retailing. Hope you agree with me, right? Look at here, correct? So the unnecessary packaging, something which is already packed, it can be sold as it is, but retailer, just to do the branding, they indulge in unnecessary packaging. You can just have a look at the picture there, and that is creating lot of garbage. The million tons of garbage has to be managed every day. So how are we going to manage that? It's an alarming signal. So it looks neat and tidy for the retailer. People love to buy it, but after buying and consuming the product, they're throwing everything on the road. That creates the garbage. So this is the problem what the retailers are creating. Yes, next slide. So retailers' impact on the environment is happening from the slide. It is very clear. They are doing unnecessary packaging, correct? Then next, they have long supply chains because, as you know, the organized retailers are chain retailers. They buy their product from very far places just to ensure that they buy it at a lesser price. In order to buy the lesser price, they buy the product from far places. But to bring the product from the far place to the place of retailer, so much of petrol and diesel is being used, correct? But is also correct, which is also getting over very soon. Next 40 years, it is predicted that one will not have any diesel or petrol resources. So that is one something alarming. All cars, buses, wherever it will stand there itself without petrol, without oil, right? So that is also predicted. So much of usage of that we are doing, and not only that, fossil fuel is one issue. The next issue is carbon footprint. What carbon footprint we are creating it, that's something very wrong, right? So increase the carbon dioxide footprint of product by traveling the product from far place to here. Then retail replaces more environmental goods to increase the profit. So in order to increase profit, they add a lot of frills to the product to make the product look very attractive. And all those things, when I buy the product, I take home product, before I consume it, I'm going to throw it. So I'm going to throw all that in garbage. So I'm adding more garbage. So that is what is happening, students. That is why I feel retailing is very important in sustainability. The role of retailer is very important in sustainability because retailer is creating problem to the environment, adding problem to the environment, and I strongly feel that no one can solve this problem other than retailer. Retailer can only become the part of solution. Definitely retailer has solution for this. So that is what in today's session we are trying to see how retailer can sort out this issue and how retailer can add value by protecting the environment. Can I have next slide? Let us see the connection between retailing and environment. In the next slide. Yes, can I have next slide? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so sustainability and retailing, let us see how it is connected. According to World Commission on Environment and Development, the sustainable design or development is one that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. That is what is all about. The World Commission on Environment and Development says that the sustainable design is one which ensures this generation is fulfilling our needs and also leaving the resources left so that our next generation can also use those resources. Throughout the world, people are working on this. We are not exhausting the resources and going. We are using resources and we are also ensuring that resources are left over for next generation. Right from we use the resources that are available, correct, to create the sustainable future. Designers are constantly exploring the new ways, right, to solve this dichotomy to how limited resources can satisfy the infinite demand to them. Then the world today, but in spite of all this trial, if you just see the data is something completely different. Today, we are consuming 1.5 planet worth of resource annually. 1.5 planet worth of resources we are consuming annually. So how much planet is there? 1.5 of that we are consuming. So what will be left over for next generation? This is what is alarming signal today. Owing to its direct contact with its customer, retail industry is a position to drive change towards sustainability. Yes, next slide. So along with that, I also have a research report which proves that how important the retailer role in sustainability is. So let us discuss that. So importance of sustainable litter. It's a high time where retailers have to think about sustainability. And students, all of you agree with me. I think you have studied retailing as one of the subjects. You have seen that retailing is an industry in India which is considered as second largest employer in India, only after agriculture. Agriculture is the first and retailing is the second one. And retailing is considered as potential area to invest because only 2% of retail, only 8% of retailing is organized retailing, correct? 98% is unorganized retailing. And not only that, retailing is an evolving industry. It keeps on changing. Industry is not static. Industry is very dynamic. Every day, today, what is going to happen in retail, tomorrow completely it is going to change. Correct? Whatever the Kishore Biani was having the Big Bazaar, today the Big Bazaar, most of the outlets are owned by Ambani, right? Reliance have bought Big Bazaar. So these kind of changes are very common, and we don't know Walmart is there doing their business in India, and other retailers are also there doing their business in India. So a lot of changes are coming up. We are yet to find out what retailing format is popular in India, which one Indians like. We are yet to find out that, but trial and error method what we have adopted, and this industry have seen lot of changes. I want to bring up to you some of the changes here. Like first change is globalization. I told you Walmart is here, correct? Metro cash and carry is here, correct? So almost all retailers, Zara is here, almost all one prominent retailer. India is housing all of them, and they are creating, they have a lot of demand in India, they are creating employment opportunities in India, and they are contributing to our environment also. That is why this globalization have given new competitors to Indian retailers, and Indian retailers have learned how to compete with them. Then in 2019, suddenly we saw the outbreak of COVID-19, and COVID-19 had not left, correct, any place for retailer to sell other than online. So all of them learn we have to go digital. If we don't go digital, we will not have business. So every retailer, small retailer, he started going global. So this created a sales dependency that also led the retailers to integrate ESG. When they went global due to COVID-19, when they went online due to COVID-19, first time they felt three things are very important here. That is environment, social, and governance. Environmental, social, and governance. This is the word we use, which is called as ESG measurement for retailers, where we see how retailers is contributing to environment, social, and governance. You may be aware of it. Online retailers are having more adverse impact on environment compared to the shop retailers. The reason is, if you buy from Amazon or Flipkart, you have seen the packaging they do. If the packaging is not recyclable, then everything will go to garbage, and the quantity of garbage in each house will increase. So that is why when they went online, they realized that we have to take care of our environment. We can't do that, and we have to take care of society. It's our duty. And governance, we have to be transparent. So those things started becoming important. Then in a survey carried out by Deloitte Global, correct? Deloitte is a market survey agency. So they conducted a survey and they found that 32% of the retail consumers are adopting a more sustainable lifestyle. They told very clearly that 32% of the retail consumers are adopting to the more sustainable lifestyle. This is something very important. See, retailer depends on consumer for their business. When consumers are adopting to a sustainable lifestyle, the retailer have to change. Otherwise, people will not buy from them because 50% of consumers globally are choosing to buy from brands with a clear commitment to sustainability. They're telling you want to charge us more, you charge. But you be sustainable. You don't have any adverse impact on environment. Then we are willing to pay more for that. So this statistic, the retailers are having strategies aligned to the business goal, and they're just trying to work on it. And most of the CEOs from the retail sector are already working on it to bring up the more sustainable strategies and implement it in the coming years. So in the coming year, the next 1 decade, because these goals are being taken where we wanted to make world as a sustainable place by 2030. So we have 8 more years where complete sustainability we have to adopt in the world. So that is why most of the CEOs of retail uh, organizations are already working on it. Either they have implemented it or they are in the process of implementing it. Yes. Next slide. Yeah. I also have a research data for you guys because as a management student, correct, your decision making ability should be based on research. Whatever I'm telling you, they should be research-based information I should share with you. Correct. So I got a very important recent study in this field, commission study conducted by Forrester Consulting. Forrester Consulting have conducted this study. I did this study is financed by Shopify. So Shopify have given them funds to conduct this study in September 2021 about the sustainability and retailing, and they brought out these findings. Can you please have a look, put in different colors because the impact of the finding on customers is different, retailer is different, and online is different, and each one I have written here. So over this study brought out to the world a very important saying that over a 1/3 of brands are establishing long-term goals and targets. Right? So 1/3 of brands are establishing the long-term goals and targets and distancing themselves from the partners that are unwilling to meet their sustainability standards. Very important, students. 30% of retailers have decided not to buy product from vendors, those who are not sustainable. They're going to buy products only from those vendors they are sustainable. That means not only the retailers retailers are becoming sustainable, even the other the chain in the supply chain management, the vendors have to become sustainable. Otherwise, they are not going to have business. Then using more sustainable, then they ask people what exactly you're going to do here. How are you going to make yourself sustainable? Then they answer like this. 53% of brands say improving sustainability is our top priority this year, 2022. All retailers plan is 53%, more than half of the retailers around the world says that the top priority is improving sustainability. Then they ask them, how are you going to improve sustainability? They say the same point. You remember in my first slide, I showed you how retailers are contributing to the environment, the 4 points. Those 4 points only the retailers are going to work here. The first point where retailers are going to work is on packaging. So using more sustainable packaging, 40% of people, retailers told that we're going to make use of sustainable packaging. Then creating products that align with company values. We are going to create those products which are eco-friendly, which are green, which are not harmful to the society, and which are aligned with our own policies of being sustainable. That is what the 60% people say. Then the third decision, what they told was investing in establishing long-term sustainable goals and targets. 35% of them told that we are going to commit ourselves to sustainability. We are going to have sustainable goals. Then 41% of brands are investing in being more transparent. 41% says that we'll be more transparent because my customers want me to be sustainable. If I'm sustainable, I have to tell to the world that, look, I'm sustainable. So that's very, very important. So 41% of people say that we will not only be sustainable, but we are going to prove saying that, look, we are sustainable. This is what we are doing to gain sustainability. That is what the 4 strategies, correct, what retailers have told, they will be adopting it based upon the Forrester Consulting report. Then for online retailers, they told very clearly that the green color, what I have written text, is for online retailers. There 46% of customers are more likely to purchase a product online if they are able to recycle the product packaging. I told you, no, Amazon, Flipkart, I am buying so many, correct, it is being just to ensure that the product you get without any damage, rather than one layer of packaging, they'll have 2-3 layers of packaging. If that material is recyclable, people are going to buy from them. If it is not recyclable and it is harming the environment, customers, 46% of going to buy from such online retailer. That's very important, students. Green color is customers saying, the red color is company saying, and the blue color, black color above what I have given is industry, what they think. Correct? Then 50% of consumers said that ability to recycle the product once they are done using it influence the decision to purchase some specific brand. So 50% of people say that after consuming the product, if I can use the jar for some other purpose, I'm not wasting it, I'm not putting it in garbage, then I'm likely to buy from such brand. Otherwise, I'm not going to buy. Then 35% of brands say they are investing in causes. So again, company related in blue color output, companies are also thinking that even the employees are not willing to join such companies, those who are not sustainable. That is why they wanted to improve the employee retention. 35% of brands are of opinion that we are going to adopt the sustainable strategies so that the good people, the good employees will join us in long run. So that is what is the research finding. I thought just the background of my study, why this model, why I developed this model, why I came up with this strategy. This is the background for my study. Yes. Next slide. Yes. So retailers that focus on sustainable practices can also attract, correct? Maybe you are aware of it, students. Gen Z, correct? So all of you, I think, who are Gen Z, these people are the younger generation consumer, and they're going to drive long-term brand loyalty. So at present, all retailers will be selling the product to them. And one company called as the Depop and Brain Company, they conducted a survey to find out Gen Z opinion on sustainability. And they got to know very clearly that Gen Z very clearly told that, look, we are going to pay more, spend more, but we are not going to compromise on sustainability. So they revealed that Gen Z shopping behavior are strongly influenced by brand commitment to social and environmental sustainability. Brand who are committed to social and environmental, Gen Z is only going to buy from them. So you want to have business in the long run, you have to become sustainable. Then, with responsibility of about 8 to 10% of global carbon emissions, correct? Almost 20% of wastewater. The fashion retail industry is a big contributor to the climate change. Today, we are seeing climate change. Correct? We have never seen this kind of climate change in earlier days. Due to global warming, it is happening. And garment industry is one which takes the responsibility of adding 20% of wastewater and 8 to 10% of global carbon emissions is from garment industry. And it is a high time the garment retailer, the apparel retailer have to think about going global. And trust me, they have gone global. Denim is thinking about going sustainable. Correct? Levi's is thinking about going sustainable. Reebok is thinking about going sustainable. All of them have practices to go global because apparel is something people can lead life very easily with 10 pair of clothes, but each one of and where these apparels will go after usage, they throw it in garbage. So again, manufacturing, so much of carbon emissions are left. Correct, while making garments. Then after usage, you throwing it, again it is adding to the garbage. So apparel is something where they have to be very careful about it, and they are responsible for climate change. It's a hard time. They have to learn lessons, and industry have to think about being sustainable, and they are doing that. Yes. Next slide. Yes. And not only that, students, I also want to talk to you about the government. I told you about industry perspective. I told you about customer perspective. Let me tell you government perspective also. Our government have come up with a recent strategy called as Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? That talks about sustainability. Why do you depend on other nations? We can, correct, our own 1.3 billion population and so many startups, correct, and so many brands working here. Why not why not we give business to our own, to our own people rather than going it to other countries or rather than giving orders to the other countries. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is also an initiative towards sustainability where government is trying to depend only on us. The recently, as a student, you must have observed what is happening to your friends, those who are doing MBBS in Ukraine, right? They were in final year of their semester just to finish MBBS, and what is happening due to war, all of them have come back and everything is destroyed in Ukraine. We don't know, all colleges are destroyed. We don't know when colleges will start, when they go back, and if they don't go back, they are not, they spend so much of money, 4 years on their education, 3 years on their education, they don't even become doctor, and it's just a crisis. They are into crisis now. That is why government is just thinking, if we bring Atmanirbhar Bharat here, if we have our own MBBS colleges enough to accommodate all the students, we can bring sustainability in India. And this problem, what the children are facing, depending upon foreign country for their MBBS, they wouldn't have struggled. This is something which I want to bring from government perspective. Then see one more perspective, the sustainable business model is going to open the lot of economic opportunities, which is worth of $12 trillion. $12 trillion business opportunities this sustainability is going to create in future. And going to increase the employment up to 380 million jobs by 2030. If we achieve the UN 17 goals, then it is going to create $12 trillion, correct? Increase the worth of economic opportunities and 380 million jobs by 2030. That big brands are making big difference with the massive efforts of making greener and sustainable plan. Earth has more greener and sustainable plan. So you've seen that the people are changing our perspective on sustainability, and we have decided we're going to buy only from those retailers, those who are sustainable. And on the other hand, we have also seen that the retailers are also changing. They wanted to be a responsible retailer. They also, correct? And government have adopted Atmanirbhar, and there are employment opportunities, business opportunities is created. So all these things create a need for sustainable retailing. If you want to sustain your business in the long run, you have to think about being sustainable. You have to think about bring up sustainability in your operations. Otherwise, retailer will not be able to sustain. Now, the next question you should ask me is how to become sustainable. That is what I have in my next slide. That's very important thing. So, strategies for sustainable retailing. I just did some research to find out, as I correct, my area of research is always marketing and retailing. I've done all my papers on retailing. So I was just thinking how retailer can become sustainable. I did a lot of literature review. I interacted with the retailers, correct? And based on that, I developed this model. Strategies for sustainable retailing, whatever came to my mind, I did a research and tried to find out whether these practices are existing. Yes, they were existing. So after incorporating the existing practices, as well as from literature and the perspective from the retailer, my own knowledge. So I have come up with some of the strategies for sustainable retailer that I have put in the 3 dimensions of sustainability. I think students, you have studied sustainability model. So given by UN, so global sustainability model given by United Nations is having 3 dimensions. So any company claiming to be sustainable have to prove themselves in these 3 dimensions because government is going to measure them on these 3 dimensions. I think you are aware of that. Government will measure their contribution or whether they are sustainable or not. Government is going to measure them on these 3 parameters. These 3 parameters are called as dimensions of sustainability, and it is also called as triple bottom line. I think you are aware of triple bottom line. Yes, triple bottom line. These 3 dimensional sustainability is only called as triple bottom line. And if you work on every business, if they work on these 3 triple bottom line, they can stay in the business for longer. Of course, all of you know that the first bottom line where they have to work is on economic. Without profit, that's very important. So they have to ensure that they are making profit. So the first dimension of sustainability is global economic impact model. So how well, correct, how well the economic impact the retailer is having, how they are making profit. They should not make profit at the cost of environment, at the cost of society. Keeping both the things in happy mode, they can still make profit. And second one is, as a retailer, what environmental impact I'm having. They have to work on reducing this impact. And the third one, they get the business, the retailer, get all its input from society. So it's a duty of, it is a duty of retailer to give back to the society. They have to contribute in the well-being of society. So that is that we call it as social impact, because they have to behave in a social responsible manner if they wanted to have responsibility. So in order to achieve this, remember the color, correct profit, they can make the blue color is there, then environment green, and the social impact yellow color. So then next slide, I've given the strategies based on all these, correct, based on all these parameters. Can you just have a look? Yes. These are the strategies which they have to adopt if they have to be sustainable. The retailer, the strategies for retailers to be sustainable. The first strategy is the retailer have to go paperless. The first strategy is go paperless. So I put in green color, that all is going to benefit the environment. Correct? That is the green dimension, the environment dimension of sustainability. Then yellow is for social impact, and wherever I have written blue color, that is for making profit. Yes, going paperless. Retailer, I think you are aware of it, students. A retailer use lot of paper. For what they use paper? Yes, they use paper to place an order, correct? And then once they get the inventory, all inventory printouts they take, they match, they compare, the labels they create, correct? Not only that, bill generation. Each day, one shop will have some 1,000 customers visiting to them, 1,000 bills they will generate, and each bill is so lengthy. You must have seen the length of bills. It's very lengthy. Do you know how much of trees are cut to make that paper? Just in US alone, correct? They have done a survey to find out the retailers' consumption of paper in US in 1 year, and they found that 10 million trees are cut just to produce the bill, just to make the bills for retailer, and they use correct one, and they use millions of water, correct, to make the paper, to manufacture paper, and not only that, even to make the bills oil. They use so many gallons, millions of gallons of water, 250, correct? Millions of gallons of water is used, correct? And 150 gallons of million gallons of oil is used to make the paper only in US for 1 year. Imagine throughout the world how much we are using. So that is why it's a high time retailers should think about going paperless. Even the customers will be very happy. In a retail store, they do not have to carry one paper in their hand and go. They'll be happy to shop around, correct? And if you just mail the bill to them, the e-bill, ask them to download your app and ask them to see the bill in app, bill is generated in app itself, they'll be happy. So go for paperless is something retailers can do. That's something very important. This will reduce the environmental impact. And not only that, once I take back the bill, as soon as I go out of the retail shop, I'm going to throw that bill outside. I'm not going to keep it with me. I'm going to throw it. So it is adding in the garbage. Every day you ask garbage fellows, at least 10% of the garbage is related to the bills generated. So that is why go paperless is very, very important. The next you have set sustainability goals and stick to them. Very, very important. All the retailers, it's a high time, they have to set sustainability goals and they have to stick to them. There's no other way they can sustain here. So they have to work on it. And maybe, and I told you what are the sustainability goals they can take. The first goal is to reduce to make their packaging sustainable. The second goal is to reduce their carbon footprint. Correct? And the third sustainability goal may be to reduce the paper consumption. The fourth may be to reduce the O packaging. So those, and just to sell only the green products. correct? And not to buy from the vendors, those who are not sustainable. So these are the things, any one of the goal they can take up and that they can stick on to them and do a lot of publicity for them and inform people, look, I'm doing this. Then only Gen Z people will buy from you. That is why it's a high time. They have to, if they wanted to make profit, this is the secret of making profit. They have to set the sustainability goals and they have to stick to them. Then look for clean energy options. Very important. If you go to any retail outlet, they have got 4 major expenditure in operating costs. You may be aware of it. The first one is, of course, the labor. It's a labor intensive. Then second industry, the second kind of expenditure, what they have is rent, what they pay, correct? So to the showroom, so rent is also very important, labor is very important, and the one more very important element where they spend their money is energy. Because if you go to the retail shop, if no AC is on, you don't feel like spending much time there. And if they don't have elevators working there, you don't feel like going and shopping there. And if you don't see the good lighting around you, you feel there's no environment to shop, there's no music around you, you feel you don't have an environment to buy. That is why energy is very, very important here. So along with the labor, along with the rent, and along with the other operating costs, the energy adds to their cost. That is why they have to work on coming up with alternative energy, because correct, energy is something which very, very important for retailer, and lot of their wallet is spent on this. So they can look for clean energy option, which is having less and less impact on environment, like changing all your tube light. With the simple thing is changing all your tube light with LED bulb, that will reduce energy consumption. Then buying only the 5-star AC, air conditioners, fans, correct? Everything you buy with 5-star, and you prove that in your office itself is 5-star and get the rating done. Then you tell you are doing this, people will really like you. So that is why look for energy options is something very important, what they have to take care. And the fourth element I was telling you, four cost element. The fourth one, what they spend is on marketing. So marketing is also very important. And one of the slogan in marketing is your sustainable can get you so many customers. So that is why look for clean energy options and do publicity for that and try to attract customers to your shops. So that's the next energy. So next strategy, what they can adopt. Then the fourth strategy is reduce waste and costs with digital showrooming, right? So what is happening is reduce waste and cost with digital sampling or digital showrooming. So what is happening now is, if you just go to a furnishing shop, which makes correct, you wanted to buy some furnishing shop, you visit, you wanted to buy some material, correct, maybe the sofa material or maybe the curtains material you wanted to buy, they will show you they'll show you the file, the folder, correct, the folder will have so many pieces of clothes and he make you select one in that. Have you observed that? Without that sample we are not going to buy, and that all those pieces, it get over, that full folder of pieces of clothes will go waste. And again, the new folders will be created. So here they can think about being sustainable. They can cut waste out of your, they can just try to find out or reduce the waste from this display items or from this sample item. And they can just create, they can make use of technology to create a 3D technology where they can just show the material of this furnishing, how it looks like. They can spread it so that no need to maintain the physical and throw it in the garbage later. That will add up to the environment. So you can think about that. You can reduce waste and cost with costs related to the sample are related to these elements, the sample elements, what you are creating it, something what they can adopt here. And not only that, even the display, the display pieces, whatever they create, people will not buy that. It will go for waste. So many display pieces again added to the garbage later. Hello, am I audible? I think some problem.
Hello, ma'am. It's audible, ma'am. It's audible. Hello.
You're sharing the slides? Yeah, yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, you can continue, ma'am.
You'll be sharing the slides? Okay. I think audience are able to see the slide. No, no.
Yes, ma'am. They can see, ma'am. They can see.
Okay, okay. So I'll continue, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are discussing about, yes, students, inconvenience. Let us come back. Yes, we were discussing about the strategies what retailers can adopt to become sustainable. So I was talking to you about go paperless, then just correct, set sustainability goals and stick to them. They look for clean energy options and cut waste out of manufacturing process. It's very, very important. Students, you must be thinking, ma'am is talking about retailer, but how come manufacturing is coming here? The reason is most of the retailers are involved in manufacturing also. Walmart sell their own private brand. 70% of them sell their own private brand. Correct? They sell their own private brand, most of them. So they own private brands which they are only manufacturing. So not only in the front end in retailing, they have to take care of sustainability, but they also have to take care of sustainability in manufacturing process. They have to check that is everything fine in my factory, whether my laborers are having good working conditions, or my laborers are exploited, correct, or laborers are being paid proper salaries. The sustainability starts from here, taking care of labor. Because today, if customers are buying sneakers, they don't even see the quality and the price, but they also see who manufactured these sneakers, who manufactured these sneakers, and what the working conditions people have manufactured it. Is that manufacturer is a good person taking care of employee, whether they have good HR practices, they are going to check all these things before buying. Gen Z is going to do that. That is why please look for cut waste out of the out of the manufacturing process, and ensure that you are taking care of that, and there's no wastage created in manufacturing. All elements you are using is sustainable, nothing is hazardous. Whether vendors is providing you the product which is sustainable, whether the product actually comes to your factory, you ensure that what kind of material is being sent, whether the material is good, whether it is green material, and what kind of packaging is used, what kind of transportation is used, whether this transportation is sustainable, is it creating more carbon footprint, whether the packaging material is hazardous, then reject the element, then reject the material. No need to buy from such people. So reduce. That's very, very important. Cut waste out of your manufacturing process is something very important. What you can think about here, like not only in your retail space but also in factories, whether it is taking care. The next one, use refurbished or recycled material for in-store display and record. That's also very, very important, students, because if you enter the retail shop, everywhere display will be there. Earlier, we used to use that printing material that was very hazardous to the environment. Today, government have banned the banners cannot be printed. It should be printed only on cloth material, correct, which can be disposed easily. And the plastic should be avoided in printing, or banners should be avoided. Due to that, now most of the retailers are being asked to use only cloth kind for printing, or they can use for digital banners. And everywhere the big screens are there where digital ads will be displayed. So that is something what retailer can adopt. And not only that, if retailer wanted to keep some hangings there or some material there, the retailer have to ensure that the hanging or that material what retailer is using is created from recycled material. Very, very important. It's created from recycled material so that nothing it gets wasted. Correct? For example, so many tires are get wasted. So those tires you can make use of and create the decor element. Correct? You can decorate your showroom by using that display material. Make lot of plastic get wasted, which are broken. You can melt that plastic and make beautiful display items and beautify your shop. Then people will really like. They think that you are eco-friendly, and maybe you are using the paper that is recycled paper, or you are using the material around the decor material. Whatever you are using is made from recycled material. People will really like it. So that's something what you can adopt that. The next strategy is what I suggest is recycle old goods. Very important, students. I can't say all retailers will go for recycling the old goods. Correct? It's all retailers it is not possible. But certain retailers whose produce can be recycled, they should go for recycling the old goods. They should not keep as it is. For example, Soch will have too many display dresses. The people are not willing to buy that. What Soch should do? What Soch apparel should do? They should. What they do is usually they sell it at they'll give 80% discount and 20% they sell everything. Still, if they are not able to sell certain clothes or as it is, they will recycle it, correct? Or they try to recycle it or give it to the NGOs to recycle and use. So that is what they can do, the government, correct? If they are the sample pieces and all, it can be recycled again and produce the new material. So the new material usage will reduce and you become more sustainable. So that's something very important. The recycle old good, you can think about doing it. I want to give an example of very important shops here which are doing this. The first one thing, I want to give an example of Aline Fisher stores. Aline Fisher is an international retailer. What he does is, he collects the old material, that is old company brand clothes, the branded clothes, they collect it from customers, used clothes, they repair it, and they resell it, and they resell these clothes to the people. And whatever money they are getting it, they are giving it back to the non-profit organizations or NGOs. The beautiful cause, Aline Fisher store doing it. Not only they are taking this clothes, which they don't collect it, definitely it will be thrown on the road and garbage will get increased up. So that they are taking and they are repairing it and selling it back, and profits also they are giving it to NGO. Beautiful noble cause, what you can think about it. The next I want to give an example of Nike. Nike is also come up with a reuse issue. You may be aware of it, students. Nike is having an initiative called as reuse issue. Reuse issue, what exactly they do here is, so what exactly they are doing here is Nike reuse issue concept. One of its, the Nike is having lot of sustainable practices. One of the practice what they are using is Nike reuse issue. The name of the program is reuse issue. What these people are doing is, the Nike will collect all used shoes from people that they are going to recycle it and make the material, and that material is used to create the running racks, or playground or maybe the courts, play courts are being created from the shoe material which is of no use to the customer. Beautiful initiative taken by Nike, concept called as reuse issue. So that's something what you can do. And in India, if I want to give an example, I want to give an example of Big Bazaar. So Big Bazaar will have every March, the March, April, they will have exchange mela, where everything you have at home where you can go and give it to Big Bazaar. So Big Bazaar will weigh it. See, they'll give good amount also. Like clothes 300 per kg, they will take from you. And 5 kg clothes you are giving, 1,500 voucher they will give you. That voucher you can go and buy any new clothes there. So your clothes which was there at home, you'd have thrown on the road, is also used. And Big Bazaar is giving you money also to buy. Win-win situation. I won, retailer also won. So win-win situation. So Big Bazaar is doing that recycling the old goods. So what Big Bazaar will do with that, whatever the old products they are getting it, they have a vendor, they give it to them to recycle it and make the new product out of it. Then I want to give an example of Apple. Sells it fabricated mobile phones. Correct? They buy in warranty period. Something goes wrong with the phone, they will give you new phone. What will happen to this phone? They repair it. They sell a fabricated phone. So that is for recycling the old product. Then showrooming and sample making already explained you. Then being transparent. This also I told you. Any of these practices you are doing it, being transparent is also very important because people look for they look for your commitment to sustainability. Gen Z will measure you in this 3 dimensions. If you prove yourself, then only they are going to buy from you. Otherwise, trust me, they're not going to buy any product from you. So you have to be very transparent here. Correct? You have to conduct a campaign to inform people how sustainable you are. Or you need to have a lot of seminars, workshops, where you teach your practices to them and tell people what you're doing in the name of sustainability. I want to give an example of being transparent. I want to give an example of Walmart. Walmart have come up with a sustainability lab in their showroom in America, which is set up by Harvard University professors. They have a sustainability lab and they continuously work in the retail shop to come up with the new sustainability initiatives will Walmart can incorporate. So that's a beautiful concept which is working on. So retailers are doing all these things to show to the world that they are sustainable because it is a necessity, it's a requirement. The government is not mandating people till now in India, correct, to be sustainable for retailers. Other than, I think they have to take care of energy. Then plastic they cannot use. Other than that, other thing government is not interfering. But these strategies, whatever I am telling, if they adopt it, maybe 10 years from now, government may bring up all these strategies. All these strategies get implemented. They're going to make retailers to implement it compulsorily. It is going to happen in the long run. But being voluntary is always. That is why this strategy is well in advance. I just thought about it, what retailers can do, and I'm bringing it to you across. Yes. Then next sustainable strategy, what they can adopt is product packaging and shipping supplies. So product packaging and shipping supplies is very important to them. So because I told you, offline as well as online, the packaging is very important for retailers. And packaging adds lot of frills to the product. The product what we buy, most of us may buy product due to the beautiful packaging it has. Packaging sometimes forces to buy those products which actually we are not interested to buy. So packaging is very attractive, and packaging is something which differentiates your product with your competitor product. So that is why packaging remains a very important element. At the same time, this packaging is spoiling the environment around us. That is why sustainable packaging is very important. So retailers have to bring up that so they can use the recycled material for packaging, or rather than giving the plastic bottles, correct? See, if people can just have the plastic bottle which has to be crushed and after using it, if you have to crush and dispose it, then that will add value, that will have an adverse impact on environment. Rather than that, if you provide a beautiful water bottle which people can reuse it, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, their bottles are used by the people, it is not thrown. So that is something what you can think about it. Or maybe the booze can give a good jar, the usable jar, the food grade jar. So as soon as the booze or Horlicks is over, people can use it at home rather than throwing it. So that kind of packaging, and Amazon and Flipkart, packaging is more concerned to the online retailer. I told you in my earlier class also. So how they can make this packaging sustainable, it's very important. They should not use hazardous material which are not good for environment. They should go for eco-friendly packaging. So they have to spend some extra money on it. Rather than plastic, wood can be used, which we can recycle it. Rather than plastic, cloth can be used. Yes, of course, it's expensive, but still, they can think about doing that. So product packaging and also shipping. While shipping also, you have to ship the product with those vehicles which are adding the lesser carbon footprint. It should not add more carbon footprint. So thinking about that, we have vehicles. I want to give an example of Swiggy. Swiggy is making use of Hulo electric two-wheelers, correct, or electric cycles to supply the food to the customers. Correct. So because of that, they are reducing the carbon footprint. They're telling, see, all our Swiggy people are around Bangalore distributing the food to everyone. But they are both of us, 50% of our us are using the ULO, which is electric vehicle and not causing any kind of carbon footprint. That shows they are how eco-friendly they are. So all companies can think about using such kind of electric vehicles, or those vehicles which is having less impact on environment. It costs them more, but they're protecting environment. So find a way to reduce your carbon footprint in shipping and logistics. I told you just now how exactly the carbon footprint can be reduced, shipping, logistics, as well as in transportation. Then source sustainable brand and products. So buy only from those vendors, those who sell sustainable products. If they are not indulged in sustainability, they are just spoiling the environment. I told you, the latest data says that 50% of retailers are not going to buy from such vendors. I started my class itself with this research finding. So for that research finding, my strategy is source sustainable brand and product in the long run. Don't buy, because as a retailer, if you just become sustainable, it is not enough. You should become sustainable. You should make all your vendors sustainable, and you should make all your customers sustainable. Then only as a retailer, you are fulfilling your strategy, and as a retailer, you are ensuring that people are taking care of that. So that's very important. What you have to take care is you have to source your product from sustainable brands and products. Then the next one is explore the rental business model. This is something very important area, students, which have emerged now. When I was just doing the research on this, I got to know that they're in Bangalore, around our area itself. There's so many shops that come up. Their job is renting the clothes or renting the apparel. I told you, all of us need, correct, maybe the 10, 12 pair of clothes will do, but we have clothes in hundreds of numbers, 400% more than what we need, we have apparel. That is why to buy so much, and after buying it, why to dispose so much? Rather than that, people are coming with the latest model of renting clothes. So all you must be knowing, all celebrities are already doing that. The designers will give the clothes to them, they wear once, then again it will go to the showroom for sale. And that too, if so and so celebrity won in that movie, they make money out of that clothes. So already that model is there, but a common man also can bring up this model. So that is why many people are working on this concept, correct? So on this concept where they are just trying to, correct, where they are just trying to rent the product, correct, rather than selling it, or rather than you buying it, you go for renting ideas. So fashion services like Rent the Runway is one company which I want to give an example. Please make a note of the case studies I am discussing. That's very, very important. So Rent the Runway and Nuli. Let customers rent merchandise from a range of brands, leading to less consumption and waste and reduced negative environmental impact. Very, very important. And customers also like it because very designer wear, if they wanted to have, they have to shell out a lot of money. But rent means they will get it for 10% of cost. So they'll be happy They get the bags at the 10% of price and no need to keep at home. You are using it and giving. And this Nulli, I told you, the Nulli and Rent the Runaway company, what they are doing is this runway company gives send the product also full 1 month. 24 pairs of clothes will be sent to the customer, which they use it and they return another cloth will get back to them. So that is how they are doing it. That model is running very well. When people wanted to wear trendy clothes and they don't want to wear, because once they wear again, second time they don't want to wear, they throw somewhere. So rather than that, trendy concept is coming up. So in apparel, basically, because I told you, apparel is a basic concept which is adding to the climate change. So this can solve 50% of problems in apparel industry. So then next you have explore the rental business model I told you. The next is sell second hand or set up a buyback program. That's very, very important, students. So sell second hand or set up a buyback program. Here also, I gave you the example of Big Bazaar. They're buying back the product and selling the new. Or you have one more company called as the North Face company. They're also doing the same thing. They buy back the product and they try to sell it again. Then one more company, you have Cohills. I want to give an example of Keys. Keys, the product container, they use the product containers made from recycled glass. They use recycled glass to create their product containers, and 80% of its plastic packaging is made from recycled materials. So customers can also send back empties through the recycle and be rewarded. Whatever material they have, if they wanted to give it back to the company also, they can give back. And they will get vouchers for that, and they get the cash discount when they're buying for the next time. So buyback is something what company can think about it here. It's a high time. Take back their product which is not in and try to sell something new. So the material which goes in manufacturing will reduce, and this product going in garbage will reduce. So both win-win solution. What will happen? So sell the second hand or set up a buyback product. All companies can't do it, but some companies where it is feasible, where it is possible, they can think about doing that. So upcycle or donate the unsold stock. I want to give an example of the various companies which are doing this. Correct, Big Bazaar I told you, North Face I told you, Denim is doing it, correct, Reebok is doing it. So all of them are involved in this. They sell second hand as well as they set back. They have their buyback program. So the next strategy, what we can adopt, all these will have not only economic impact, but it will also have social impact. I have put it in the blue color because all this is working on the well-being of people. People will get benefit from this because resources, by doing this, you are saving resources for next generation. The next generation will have resources for their use. That is why not only environment friendly, but also it is socially responsible way you are adding value. The next you have upcycle or donate unsold stock or sample. I told you this, right? So I want to give an example here. Like I gave you one example, I've already given you, that is furnishing house, whatever sample they are using it are sold on money work. Their clothes are very expensive. They make money in the first sort of it. Then after 2 years, when it becomes outdated, they just try to use the same clothes to generate new clothes. So that is called as upcycle. So upcycling is upgrading the same material for better one and selling it in the market. Or at the same time, Manyavar can think about donating those clothes to NGOs, correct? Those who are getting married, or some poor people, marriages are happening, such clothes can be given as a gift to them. So donate unsold stock, or maybe you can give it as a sample, or you can give it to the lower level retailer, they can sell. Free of cost also you can give, it will be used by others. So upcycling is something which is very important. Here I have given you a number of examples. One more case study I want to give you is about reformation. Reformation is also a retailer who sells clothes that are both eco-conscious and trendy. He ensures that clothes reformation, correct company, the retailer who deals with apparel sells only eco-conscious products, which are trendy as well. Then I want to give in one more example of Levi. Levi is brand, all of you use Levi, right? So Levi is your household brand. So Levi is also trying to minimize its environmental impact, and not only by educating, what Levi is doing is they educate people, they educate customers about the benefits of using their clothes longer. They tell people, Levi, see, retailer always want you to use the product for short time and come back for buying again. Then only they will have business. But look at what Levi is doing. Levi is telling people, don't throw clothes just wearing for 1 day, 1 month, 2 months. Don't throw clothes. Wear it at least for 90 days or wear it at least for 9 months. If you use clothes for 9 months at least, correct, then it will shrink. See, they're telling very clearly that wearing a garment for just 9 months longer can shrink its carbon footprint by 30%. If you wear Levi's clothes for at least minimum 9 months, 30% of carbon footprint can be reduced. So Levi is requesting people, please don't throw our jeans or our clothes in just 1 month and 2 months. At least wear it for 1 year. 30% carbon footprint you are saving. You are saving your environment. Help us in the initiative of saving the environment. So like that, Levi is walking a campaign to educate people on this. It is also helping customers to extend the life of their Levi's clothes. And they are also telling 1 year you use our clothes and something goes wrong to our jeans, you can get it repaired in our shop. They have come up with a tailor shop. Levi have come up with their recycling clothes, correct? Or to repair the clothes, they have come up with a tailor shop. So they are telling, please make use of our tailor shop. Get whatever changes you want to do in our clothes, do it. But ensure that you make our clothes, you use our clothes at least for correct? At least for 1 year or 9 months. Be a responsible audience and do that. Correct? The next you have upcycle or donate the unsold stock. I told you. They give customers the option to choose carbon neutral shipping options. The next and the last strategy, what I feel the retailer can adopt is giving the option. Amazon can give options for the people. Do you want eco-friendly shipping? If yes, check in. So before you go for billing, you have to check in for eco-friendly shipping. You have to pay little extra, but what will happen here is the advantage what you get is very important, students, because the impact on environment, adverse impact can be reduced and positive impact can be increased. And at least 30% of people will opt for eco-friendly shipping. Then you are saving the environment. Gives us the option. You have EcoCard. You have so many shipping companies which are eco-friendly. So give those options to them and hire them and supply your product only through them, or hire the electric vehicles. If you cost more, customers will bear the cost. So that is something what you can bring up here. So these are the things what they can adopt in order to give option to the customers. And energy in the long run, to save energy, what retailers can do is, correct, look for clean energy. I told you, no. I want to give an example of Siemens. Siemens is a retail shop who have opened up their first zero net energy store. Zero net energy store in Quebec City, Canada, where zero energy is used. What they've done is, so earlier that retail shop used to be owned by Target. They have bought that shop and they're creating the solar energy. How much they are using energy? That much energy they are only producing, and same energy they are using. So no energy they are buying, and whole showroom is so much eco-friendly. So much windows are there and colors are used in such a way that not much lighting is required there. So how much they generate, that much only they use, and not that they are not even wasting the energy. So that is something what they can adopt here. So that is what I have under the strategies for sustainable retailing. So these are the strategies what retailer can think about it in order to become sustainable. So it is not possible for retailer to implement everything in one day, but next 8 years they can think about implementing one by one. And this strategy is what I have written. See, the green color is adding to value to the environment. Yellow is adding value to the society, and green is giving them profit. All three dimensions sustainability. If you measure, this is win-win model, and this model is going to work very nicely with the retailers. So that was the intention behind this section. So my final thought for today is, the conclusion is, it is not possible for retailers to implement all these sustainable practices right away, but hopefully they can take small steps to make the business more sustainable and to become more eco-friendly, so that people really like that and people really buy product from them, and they can become more sustainable and add value and help with government as well as United Nations to make our world a sustainable place to live. Yes, students, that's all from my side. I am open to the questions now. So you have any questions, you can ask. Yes.
Any questions? So, thank you, ma'am, for your knowledgeable session. At this juncture on this session, I'll take the privilege of, on behalf of Bellary Institute of Technology and Management and Department of Management Studies, I would like to thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful session, which has really given quite good information with beautiful examples. Thank you so much for sparing your time to our students. Hopefully, we have these sessions in nearby future with some other topics. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank. I would also like to thank my colleagues, our HOD, and my students who have given the time for the session. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I leave the meeting.